That feeling of Sunday evening dread creeping in a little earlier each week. The subtle tightening in your chest when you check your work email one last time before trying to relax. It's not just the end of the weekend. It's a deeper unease, a quiet question mark hanging over your professional life. You're going through the motions, yes, hitting deadlines, attending meetings, maybe even getting decent performance reviews. But somewhere along the way, the spark dimmed. The initial excitement you felt about your career has faded into a landscape of routine tasks and predictable challenges. You're not failing, not exactly, but you're also not thriving. You're stuck. It's a uniquely modern malaise, this feeling of professional stagnation. We're told to chase our passions, to find work that aligns with our values, to constantly be growing and evolving. Yet, the reality for many is a far cry from that ideal. We find ourselves in roles that, while perhaps stable and secure, offer little in the way of genuine fulfillment or intellectual stimulation. The work becomes a means to an end, a way to pay the bills, rather than a source of purpose and meaning. And the longer we stay, the harder it becomes to imagine anything different. The comfort of the familiar, however unsatisfying, can be a powerful anchor, holding us in place even as our inner voice whispers of discontent. But what if stuck isn't a permanent condition? What if it's simply a signal, a nudge from your inner self urging you to reevaluate, to reconnect with the core drivers that once fueled your ambition? The truth is, professional motivation isn't a fixed trait. It's a dynamic energy that ebbs and flows, influenced by a complex interplay of internal and external factors. It requires tending, nurturing, and a willingness to adapt as our needs and priorities shift over time. This isn't about quitting your job tomorrow or embarking on a radical career change without careful consideration. It's about taking a step back, examining the landscape of your professional life with fresh eyes, and identifying the specific areas where you feel disconnected. Think of it like a garden that has been neglected. The soil may still be fertile, the seeds of potential still present, but without proper care, the plants will wither and the weeds will take over. Similarly, your career may still hold untapped possibilities, dormant skills, and unrealized ambitions. But if you're not actively cultivating them, they'll remain hidden beneath layers of routine and obligation. The journey ahead is about reclaiming that garden, clearing away the obstacles that are blocking your growth, and planting the seeds of a more fulfilling and purposeful professional life. We're not going to offer you a magic bullet solution or a guaranteed path to instant success. What we will offer is a framework for understanding the underlying dynamics of professional motivation, a set of practical tools and strategies for reigniting your passion, and a gentle reminder that you have the power to shape your career into something that truly resonates with who you are and what you value. This is about more than just finding a better job. It's about rediscovering your own capacity for growth, resilience, and authentic engagement with the work you do. It's about transforming that Sunday evening dread into a sense of anticipation, a feeling that you're moving forward, not just going in circles. Now, let's delve into the psychological underpinnings of this professional inertia. Often, the sensation of being stuck arises not from a lack of opportunity, but from an internal conflict between our conscious aspirations and our subconscious beliefs. This dissonance can manifest as procrastination, self-sabotage, or a general feeling of unease that we struggle to articulate. One common culprit is the imposter syndrome, that insidious voice whispering doubts about our competence and worthiness, even in the face of demonstrable success. It leads us to downplay our achievements, attribute them to luck or external factors, and constantly fear being exposed as a fraud. This, in turn, can paralyze us, preventing us from pursuing new challenges or opportunities that might stretch us beyond our comfort zone. Another, often less recognized, contributor to feeling professionally trapped is the phenomenon of learned helplessness. Initially observed in animal experiments, it describes a state of resignation that develops when individuals repeatedly experience uncontrollable, aversive events. In the context of a career, this might stem from years of working under a micromanaging boss, facing constant rejection in a particular field, or feeling powerless to affect change within a rigid organizational structure. Over time, individuals may internalize a belief that their actions have no impact, leading them to passively accept their circumstances, even when opportunities for change exist. This sense of futility can be deeply ingrained, making it difficult to break free from the cycle of stagnation. Furthermore, the allure of the sunk cost fallacy can also keep us tethered to unfulfilling careers. This cognitive bias leads us to continue investing in something, be it time, money, or effort, simply because we have already invested so much, even when it's clear that the investment is no longer yielding positive returns. In a professional context, this might manifest as staying in a job for years, despite growing dissatisfaction, because we don't want to waste all the time and energy we've already put into it. The prospect of starting over, learning new skills, or navigating a new organizational culture can feel daunting, leading us to cling to the familiar, even if it's ultimately detrimental to our well-being. On top of these, societal expectations and ingrained narratives about success can exert a significant influence. We are often bombarded with messages about what a successful career should look like: climbing the corporate ladder, earning a certain salary, achieving a particular status. These external pressures can drown out our own internal compass, leading us to pursue paths that are not aligned with our true values or interests. We may find ourselves striving for goals that we don't genuinely care about, simply because we believe that's what we should be doing. This disconnect between our external pursuits and our internal desires can lead to a profound sense of emptiness and disillusionment, even when we achieve the milestones we set out to reach. Consider, for instance, the attorney who spent years climbing the ranks at a prestigious law firm, only to realize that the long hours, intense pressure, and adversarial nature of the work were taking a toll on their mental and physical health. Despite achieving the external markers of success, they felt deeply unfulfilled and disconnected from their own values. Or, take the teacher who initially felt passionate about education, but gradually became disillusioned by the bureaucratic constraints, standardized testing, and lack of resources. They felt trapped in a system that stifled their creativity and prevented them from truly connecting with their students. These are just two examples of how the psychological factors of imposter syndrome, learned helplessness, sunk cost fallacy, and societal expectations can converge to create a powerful sense of professional stagnation, even in individuals who appear to be successful on the surface. Reflecting on this journey so far, a distinct pattern emerges, not unlike the intricate grain of seasoned wood. We've seen how the external pressures of a career, often perceived as a linear ascent, can paradoxically lead to an internal descent into stagnation. It's as if the very pursuit of outward success can obscure the inner compass that should be guiding our professional trajectory. The expectations we absorb, the roles we assume, the metrics by which we measure ourselves, all can contribute to a sense of disconnect, a feeling of being adrift in a sea of obligations, far from the shores of our authentic aspirations. Consider the image of a river, once a vibrant, flowing force, gradually becoming choked with sediment. The water still moves, but its energy is diminished, its course constrained. Similarly, our professional lives can become burdened by accumulated experiences, unresolved conflicts, and limiting beliefs, hindering our ability to adapt, innovate, and thrive. The initial clarity of purpose becomes clouded, replaced by a sense of inertia, a feeling that the current is carrying us along, rather than us actively navigating our way. Drawing these strands together, we see that the sensation of being stuck is rarely a simple matter of circumstance. It's a complex interplay of internal and external forces, a delicate balance between our conscious desires and our subconscious programming. The challenges we face are not merely obstacles to overcome, but rather opportunities for deeper self-understanding, invitations to reevaluate our priorities and realign our actions with our core values. The key lies not in seeking external validation or chasing fleeting trends, but in cultivating a deeper sense of self-awareness and inner resilience. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, though not necessarily easier. It requires a willingness to challenge our assumptions, to question the narratives we've internalized, and to embrace the discomfort of uncertainty. It demands a commitment to continuous learning, not just in terms of acquiring new skills, but also in terms of deepening our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It calls for a willingness to experiment, to take calculated risks, and to learn from our inevitable mistakes. As we pivot towards the final reflection, it's important to acknowledge that the journey towards professional fulfillment is not a destination to be reached, but rather an ongoing process of growth and evolution. There will be times when we feel lost, discouraged, or overwhelmed. There will be setbacks and disappointments. But it's in these moments of adversity that we have the greatest opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to emerge stronger and more resilient than before. The ability to navigate these challenges with grace and self-compassion is essential for maintaining a sense of purpose and direction, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Think of it as tending a garden, where constant nurturing and care are required. This is not a one-time fix, but a continuous process. Weeding out the negative thoughts, fertilizing our skills, and ensuring we get enough sunlight from fulfilling work. This active approach to our professional lives ensures that we're not just passively existing within them, but actively shaping them to align with our growth and aspirations. So, we arrive not at an end, but a threshold. A place where understanding transforms into action, where introspection seeds intention. The map of your professional landscape has been unfurled, its contours examined, its hidden valleys and promising peaks brought into view. But a map, however detailed, is not the territory itself. The real journey begins now, with the first step taken onto the soil of your own reimagined career. It's tempting, perhaps, to seek a grand, sweeping solution, a dramatic reinvention that will instantly banish the feeling of being stuck. But lasting change rarely arrives in such a sudden, decisive fashion. More often, it's the accumulation of small, consistent actions, the gradual erosion of old habits and the patient cultivation of new ones, that ultimately transforms the landscape. It's about choosing, each day, to move incrementally towards a more authentic and fulfilling professional life, even when the path ahead seems unclear or the progress feels slow. Think of a sculptor, patiently chipping away at a block of marble, revealing the form that lies within. Each strike of the chisel may seem insignificant on its own, but over time, they coalesce to create a work of art. Similarly, each small step you take towards aligning your work with your values, each skill you develop, each connection you forge, contributes to the creation of a more meaningful and purposeful career. The key is to trust the process, to embrace the imperfections, and to celebrate the small victories along the way. The true practice begins now, in the quiet moments of reflection where you connect with your inner compass, reminding yourself of what truly matters. It begins in the courageous conversations you have with yourself and with others, exploring your fears, your desires, and your untapped potential. It begins in the daily choices you make, consciously aligning your actions with your aspirations, even when it feels difficult or uncomfortable. Ultimately, the journey out of feeling stuck is a journey of self-discovery, a process of uncovering the unique talents, passions, and values that make you who you are. It's about recognizing that your career is not just a means to an end, but an opportunity to express your authentic self, to contribute your unique gifts to the world, and to create a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling. And perhaps the most powerful realization of all is that you are not defined by your current circumstances, but by your capacity to learn, to grow, and to create a future that is aligned with your deepest aspirations.